Never click on that thing again. Hello. Welcome, everybody, to the grind that is episode 10 of Counterfeit Monkey. Although, genuinely, I've been really excited about this episode all week because I think we're now getting to the crunch point where we have lots of stuff and lots of ways of manipulating lots of stuff and some actual puzzles that we can't figure out. As per usual, just those players who are here say hello.
Hi, it's Lee here.
Hi, it's Mantis.
Hi, Rosie here. He's not kidding. He's talked of little else all week. So I'm hoping we're going to finish it today.
Hi, it's Mike.
Yeah, there's fucking zero chance of that happening. But I've done some things. Here are some things that I have done. I have mapped everything that we've looked at so far. This is our map. We are here currently in the university. I think we're actually in the graduate student office down there. This is where the bushes are, for example. We could take our sword and go and chop at some bushes, or the jigsaw and chop at some bushes. These are things that we could do. I also went back, and as you can see from all of these locations and stuff, I identified every object that we could manipulate, I think, and I've put them in this long list of objects. And I have this notation around the first word or combination of words is how we discovered the object. Objects that are connected by underscores are tightly bound to their modifiers, so we can't change just one part of the word without the other. Words or object names in brackets are things that we've changed by removing letters. The ones in square brackets have been reversed. The ones with tildes in front are living things that we can't make yet, at least, but we know about. Ones with curly brackets are ones that are not themselves when we first encounter them, and this is what they could be restored to. And that includes the pair that we found at the beginning of the game on the word balance is actually not a pair at all, but is in fact a pearl. So we have made an ear out of it, which I think we're still carrying around, or possibly we're carrying the pair around, but it can be restored to a pearl. Yeah, and so that's basically it for all of these things. Also, these brackets here, these sort of greater and less than sign brackets, these are words that can be created in the synthesizer, so words that can be combined. And yeah, I think that's about it, isn't it? So we have a long list of words and a long list of things to try out. I also, as you guys know, I remembered that the as that we get, which is the Roman coin, is actually a pastis. Be restored to a pastis, a bottle of pastis, which is an aperitif, and we can make something of pastis. We were not able to make something of pastis before we had our letter remover modified, but now we have it modified, we are able to do a manipulation. So I think I can show this. We have the as it is. Dismissive black from the monocle, the faint greenish image of a pastis. I'm pretty sure once we restore it to the pastis, we can no longer get it back to an as. This is like a one-time only thing, at least with the tools that we have currently. But if you rub gel on the pastis... Oh, no? Oh wait, no, it's restoration gel.
Did you have to rub it on the as?
Oh, yes. I'm an idiot. That's why you're here. Yes, rubbed it on as, obviously. So with an audible splort, the as becomes a pastis, an anise-flavoured liqueur. It's an acquired taste, but now that I've acquired it, I'd like to exercise the acquisition as frequently as possible. You may not be as big a fan, for which I apologise in advance. Now, what we can do is can anybody spot it? I know Rosie knows, because I couldn't help but tell her.
It's clearly a word I don't know. Patty? Don't know.
We're actually going to remove the I to give pasts, which is an abstract. We reset the device to I, there's a lavender cloud, and the pastis turns into some pasts. It looks from the side like a shard of glass, but seen straight on, it captures previous events. At the moment, it is replaying us inserting the page into the paper drawer. So we now have some pasts. And now we can remove the T from pasts. Oh. And we reset the device to T. There's a flash of cerulean light, and the pasts turn into a pass. A Bureau of Orthography visiting pass. A very valuable commodity in these parts. Forging one is grounds for imprisonment. There's a picture on the front that looks more or less like us, though with considerably more hair.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, how about that?
Can you imagine what he's been like all week?
Insufferable?
It's genius. I mean, I gave you time to have a little think about it on WhatsApp, but obviously I have the advantage of being able to try it out. But it occurred to me as well that we don't know the secretary's password to get into her computer, right?
Right.
So where are we? We're in the student graduate office. So is it north from here? Basement up and then southwest, I think. No, that's the seminar room. South.
Do we have something we can turn into a word?
Well, we do, right?
We do.
So we can synthesize a password.
We have the sword that can be made into a word.
We have the sword that can be made into a word. So I haven't tried this, but I think we can synthesize a password.
Which just happens to be the password we need.
Well, maybe we're just that talented.
Give it a go. Give it a go.
Hey, Woody.
I mean,
Hello.
when we needed a key card, we managed to make exactly the right key card.
Well, precisely. Okay, so the other thing that I wanted to show you is actually north of here is Professor Waterstone's office. So if we look at the door, Waterstone's office door, it says, unlike most office doors, it has a special glass window in it, allowing Waterstone to survey everything that goes on outside, even when he's locked in. So he's kicked us out of his office, and we're on the outside, but we can see him through the window. And we can knock on the door. Knock on door. Waterstone looks up and gives a little frown. It's clear he doesn't know why we knocked. To be honest, I'm not sure why we did either. When we knock on the door, he looks up. He looks through the window.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we can wave things at him because we need to give him the idea for an example of basically a rude word that has somehow been made socially acceptable. I have no idea what that is, but I did remember when I was mapping, if we go to the hostel, and we can literally just go anywhere we want on the map now. So we just go to the hostel. Outside the hostel is this it says, under a bit of shelter in the corner, a diorama table shows scenes from local history, rotated out each week. This week's diorama represents the first sitting of the Committee for the New Orthodox Orthography. So if you look at the diorama, patriotic scene is set against the backdrop of the Bureau's building circa 1895, where the committee first met, but the historians have included a bit of the building exterior to show the meetings were conducted under army guard. The writing of dictionaries has not always been bloodless. The members and the army are movable, but the rest of the scenery appears to have been hot glued in place. So there's members here. We can pick up the members.
And wave them at Waterstone.
Exactly.
Wait, do you want to wave members or get rid of the S?
Well, maybe just wave a member. Oh, where was it? Southeast. Yeah. Oh no, God, I keep going the wrong way. Oh, it is here. So, okay, wave members at Waterstone. Nothing interesting happens. May be that we need a single member, but let's try knock door. Waterstone glares at the members. Then he picks up a marker and writes on a piece of paper, "Yes, but how to change its name to something innocent." Having held up this sign for a minute, he crumples it and goes back to work. If he were a cartoon, there would be a thunderclap over his laptop.
I mean, if you get rid of the M, it turns into embers.
That's true.
But actually, no, hang on a sec. You'd get rid of both M's, wouldn't you?
Oh, ebbers.
If you get rid of the if you get rid of the B, it turns into meme. Well,
Memers.
Oh,
Maybe we get rid of the R and the B. Well,
I
then
think members is abstract.
memes could be abstract. I'm not sure we can get. If we get rid of the, I don't think the R will go, will it?
Membees.
No. I suspect the B is the same. Yeah, memers is not one, and M won't work either. Ebbers. The other thing.
When you knocked on the door, how did they know that it was the members that you were?
I think it's just because we had it on our person.
We have a lot of things on our person.
None of which is rude. We have no other double entendres on our person.
Well, at least not visible anyway.
Yeah.
Didn't mean it like that, but
I mean, those are literally rude. I mean, what a puzzle, right? We're having to like find something that has a rude meaning. The only other one that I can think of is that if we do use the screwdriver on the case that the synthesizer's in, we get some screws.
yeah.
You can change that to crew.
We could, but crew is a living thing and we can't. But it is like he's sort of challenging us to change it now into something that isn't rude.
Yeah.
Okay. But we can try the screws.
Member? Did we want to try member singular? Do you think he means to change it into something innocent via letters? Because that's not really what the other words that he in his document. That's not really what he's doing, is it?
Methods of disguising the legs of pianos and crotches of trees occupy a good portion of Waterstone's exposition, and there's a page-long aside on methods of making sure that donkeys are known by that name and not by the alternative. He's still looking for at least one more example of an object susceptible to double entendre that has been successfully rendered innocent by some linguistic modification.
Do we have access to a ship or a hip?
Not that I'm aware of. Why?
You could use the synthesizer to turn members into membership.
Ah. Something member.
So we're trying to find a double entendre that's been made to be innocent.
I think so.
Okay.
I think we need to find a double entendre that we can then show him the double entendre, and then we can modify it, and show him the modified thing.
Yeah,
I think.
that's what I think.
Like cocktail napkin or
Well,
members to member.
Well, member is still a double entendre.
Yeah. So that's where members would have worked.
I mean, the screwdriver itself contains screw. But it's not as if we're taking a screw and manipulating it.
no.
I also am aware that there are 2 locations that we've never been to. Well, 3 if you include the customs house. Rosie, you have your hand up.
I was just looking again at the list of all the things that we're carrying, and we've got a clock or a lock,
Yes, a clock.
but couldn't we turn that into a cock? And then back into a clock.
Yeah.
Just a thought.
Give it a go.
Good thought.
Didn't we try that before? Do you remember we all got disappointed that we couldn't make a cock from it?
Maybe because we couldn't make an animal, but maybe, I don't know.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not really abstract, is it? I don't know. You could try it.
What's the office called? Oh, this is great. Go to office. You mean the real estate office, the typographer's office, Higgett's office door, or Waterstone's office door? Typographer's office? Oh yeah, those were offices that we walked past. Okay. Waterstone's office door. We now have a clock. Remove L from clock. Brief image of a cock, legal override. Now you're just taunting me. Right, now you're just taunting me on a piece of paper.
Have you actually tried turning the screw into a crew?
Yeah,
Okay.
I did. And it gives the same answer as the cock.
Okay.
But I mean, we can go and get that. Drinks club. Buy. Screwdriver. Get screwdriver. Go to office. Rub. Paste. No, not paste.
I think Rosie's pissing herself laughing. What does she want to say?
I've got another idea.
You're not going to say rub the paste on the cock, are you?
I'm not. I'm just going to say we've got a ring and we've got a piece.
Facts. Okay, so now we have a screwdriver. I'm just going to do the screwdriver first.
Laugh
there we
at
go.
that.
Down here. So even though we've already jigsawed through this case, we should be able to unscrew case. We squeeze ourselves against the wall and angle to reach the screws with a screwdriver. I start on the first screw when... Is someone in the seminar room? Asks a male voice in the hall. I thought I heard something. I don't think so. There's a listening silence from outside. We hold absolutely still. Finally, the footsteps move away again. It's probably safe to try again now when I'm feeling a little bit calmer. So this similar thing happened when we used the jigsaw the first time. We get the information that we're being looked for. Unscrew case. We awkwardly and silently squeeze against the wall and angle ourselves so that we can reach the screws with a screwdriver. It's annoying work, but eventually we do work all the screws free. And we can get the screws. We pick up the screws, heavy duty flathead screws, each about an inch long. So now we can go back here. Please go away. Show screws to Waterstone. He seems to get that we're trying to show him the screws, but as they are not related to the concept of homonym shame, it's not much help with his paper, so he probably doesn't want to be distracted. Well, I beg to differ.
I mean, can we try? Oh no, screws. You can't remove the S from screws. Oh, what about?
Well, if we remove, this is what you asked me, remove S from screws. There's a brief image of some crew in their place, but a legal override kicks in.
I wonder whether is that an Americanism thing? I don't know. Is
Screwing is American, right?
okay?
I think people screw in America.
No, I think they just look at members.
No, America's just screwed.
Yeah.
There is that. Yeah, they screw everyone else over. If anything, member, I would have thought would be a more...
Yeah, but did we try with that member?
Just member.
Yeah, so remove the S from members.
There's a pink cloud and the members turn into a member. It's a figure of a member of the committee to establish an orthodox orthography. It is plastic, small enough to sit on our palm, and wears the stiff clothing and conservative hairstyle of about 1895. It looks slightly cross, as though the member has guessed its work would take another 15 years to complete. Now, member and members, I mean, whether it's one member or multiple members, I don't think that makes a difference. But we can do ring piece. What are we waiting for?
Why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't we?
I mean, is that a double entendre? It seems like a single entendre.
Isn't ring piece is the double entendre? So we need to create a ring piece. Show him the ring piece.
I don't know how you turn it into something that's not rude.
What, from ring piece?
Yeah.
Put the gel back on it.
Yeah, I suppose. Okay, well, let's see. Put ring in. Put piece. Okay. I've turned it on. It's whirred and died down. I'm going to look in it. Are we ready for this? Suddenly, Rosie's really keen. She hasn't been this keen about this game for months. In the synthesizer are a piece and a ring.
Ooh.
Boo. Boo. I think that is. I mean, maybe if you look at it through Britishizing goggles, it'll. I mean, I don't think ring piece is an American thing.
If that works, I'd love to see what it's called through Britishizing goggles.
You think? I mean, nah, makes no difference. Okay. Maybe we do need to combine member with something else. As I said, there's also 2 locations that we've never been to that would be good to try. Both of which are cafes that seem incidental, but a bit like the Fleur d'Or, that turned out to be the crucial next thing we needed to do, even though there was nothing signposting us there. We should also go and start hacking at some bushes. So let's do that.
Yeah, let's go.
Oh, and
Let's
we've got
do
the
it.
password to try out as well. Actually, while we're here, should we just try the password business?
I mean, the other thing is, weren't we trying to get an invite?
Yeah.
Because that's what would get us into the whatever it is building.
Yes.
But don't we now have a pass that gets us into that building anyway?
True. I mean, it may be that there's multiple solutions. We actually already have a solution that works. That's true.
Yep, exactly.
Okay, I've put the pass and the word in the synthesizer. The synthesizer hums like a microwave oven for 43 seconds, then pings. Inside there is a password, a glowing series of numbers and figures in the air which changes and flickers now and then, probably responding to its surroundings. It seems unstable just now.
Okay.
Okay, I'm looking at the computer in the Language Studies Department office. It's switched on. A box on the screen invites us to type a password to proceed. Look at the password. Under the influence of the secretary's computer, the password has settled down and now reads, "Brown is hot." The password field vanishes. We can type search terms to look for data records. Okay. What are we searching for? Search Waterstone. No. Okay. We can type search terms to look for data records.
So type something.
What are we looking for, though? Okay. Search turns up the following results. Waterstone's homepage. Professor Waterstone's webpage contains a CV, long, and a list of his future speaking engagements, including one set for tomorrow on homonym shame. Let's look us up.
That's what I say, yeah.
Alex Rosehip. No records found. Higgett. Professor Higgett's homepage is illustrated by a picture of herself smiling enigmatically out in the university oval, followed by links for various courses she teaches, such as Interlingua and Advanced Klingon Certification. There's also a long bit praising the value of learning constructed languages and a scanned copy of her Bureau stamp of certification to use and teach non-English tongues. Bureau stamp of certification. We can't print anything. Brown, I guess, would be the next person. Professor Brown's homepage describes an assortment of personal interests I very much doubt he has time to pursue, such as salsa dancing, before delving into an impenetrable description of his research aims and goals.
Could we search Brock?
No. I mean, okay, it's not exactly the most useful thing.
Okay, bear it in mind. Shall we go and buy some coffee?
Yeah, okay, let's...
That seal felt it was potentially useful, but
Yeah,
it's maybe if we come across a use for it, we can come back.
yeah.
So apart from the homonym shame object, what else do we need to do? Or is that our main goal at the moment?
Make noise.
Make noise. Okay.
That was another thing, wasn't it? Okay, well, I'm gonna... If we're gonna... Okay, I'm gonna go to the beach. Here are the bushes. At one point along the path, the bushes stick out especially far. Cut bushes with jigsaw. We switch the jigsaw on. The jigsaw is not an ideal tool for kudzu removal, and we wind up making a bit of a mess with bits of bush, but we do enough damage to clear the stage a bit. Hunting under the bushes reveals something I vaguely remember seeing when I was a child, but not noticing again since. Built into the wall is what looks like a very ancient sort of shrine. Examine shrine. There's a niche dug into the stone of the wall above a low relief of 3 ladies. It's not very good work to start with, and has been eroded by a lot of weather, and I wouldn't be surprised if this weren't its original location. It probably stood somewhere else and was brought here.
Oh, so can we take it then?
The shrine is empty. There's a niche. I don't think we can take it. Fix in place.
We're not wearing the monocle, are we?
I think we are. Oh, no, we're not.
We should turn off the jigsaw as well.
Yeah.
That's making me nervous.
It is making a lot of noise, though.
It is.
That was a noise generator. It was more get shrine than get niche.
I mean, the shrine is stone. It's built into the wall.
Right, okay. Yeah, fine.
So it seems like we can put things into the shrine.
It does.
We would have to give it some kind of offering, wouldn't we?
You can't get the relief.
Part of the shrine. Yeah, it's obviously carved figures on a flat.
Shine? Can we turn it into a
Oh,
shine?
looking at the relief, it looks like 3 ladies dancing on the surface of waves. They're probably meant to be nymphs, but if I had to guess, they have bare breasts and fluttering garments, but the carving was done by someone who has not the slightest idea how to make limbs appear under sculpted cloth, so it all looks clunky, as though they didn't have hips or legs at all, just randomly swirling skirts as their lower halves. All the same, there's something appealing about it.
Do we give them legs or something?
I tried to remove the R from shrine to make shine. It won't do any. We reset the device. It won't do any good. You see, It won't do any good. You see, this is an artifact of another time and language, and it has never been neutralized by authority, so it won't respond to English language tools. Quite likely it's in a language so old that it can't be manipulated at all. I wonder why it hasn't been removed or fixed, but I guess the reason is that very few people come this way. There's also something else that I noticed when I was mapping. We go to the church. It says an inscription above the altar, picked out in gold paint, reads something, something, something in Greek letters. Right? If we look at the inscription, it says it means in the beginning was the word. A patchy attempt to make theology align with scientific and linguistic reality, but it still has power. And despite the Bureau's depredations of foreign language writings everywhere else, they have never quite had the nerve to deface this. The monocle begins to whir and whir as though something inside is caught in an unresolvable loop. After a very long time, it whirs down again without any noise or of rejection or acceptance. So looking at that ancient inscription literally throws our monocle into an endless loop until it times out and shuts itself down. Weird, huh?
Yeah, that is weird. So there is a shrine, but we don't know what the shrine does.
Yep.
Could we look the shrine up in one of the books, or could we look the shrine up on the computer system?
No reference to shrine in the guidebook. I'm sure there won't be on the computer. It's nothing to do with the university. I mean, it could just be incidental, for all we know. At least we know
the only
what's
reason
there.
I thought it might be in the computer is that the university might have a record of weird linguistic shriny artifacts dotted around the place. It's clutching at straws, I know.
I've just gone there and typed shrine, no records found.
Chris, didn't you say there were a couple of other places we hadn't been? There were cafes or something?
I did, yes.
Think we should go and have a look?
Yeah. Let's go to Deep Street. So, Deep Street. This road descends steeply from southwest to northwest, passing between white concrete buildings to provide access to the marina, the fish market, the docks, and a bar or two. The street is in deep shadow, protected from sunlight from almost any angle by its narrowness and by the height of the walls. The aquarium bookstore is to the east. It's dim inside, but occasional movement suggests that the proprietor, Slango's friend Lena, is inside. We can go northwest to the fish market, southwest to the roundabout, east to the aquarium bookstore, and west from here. So if you go west from here, and if you go east, Lena's rolled up the shades and put the close sign up, so we can no longer enter bookstore. If you go west, we get to the outdoor cafe. Outdoor cafe. From this slightly raised terrace, tourists have a view of the activity in the market and out over the docks. Curiously, there's an acquaintance of yours here. Nexami Ngio is at one of the round black metal tables. He's a musician, the front man of NGO. Your gang helped him out with some customs issues because of his unusual name. Nexami nods to us. Watch out, that table next to you has something sticky spilled on it. And indeed, there is a spill. You're about to lean on it nonchalantly. I'm inclined to say thanks for pointing out the spill, or ask what he's doing in Atlantis. So yeah, Nexami NGO is here.
Have we been here?
We did. At the end of one of our episodes, we came here right at the end, and then we kind of backtracked in the next episode and went to the bookshop instead. We decided that we weren't going to get sidetracked by incidental places like that.
I think we also came here when we were trying to get to the bookstore and you just went the wrong way.
Right. Yeah, so we're trying to finish.
Ran back out again. But because I remember saying that we can turn the spill into a pill.
Right.
And a pill is something that would pass category 5
That's right.
import tax, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Because it's a food stuff that's not
a vegetable.
A plant or alive.
It's okay, so I'm going to say thanks, I guess.
Does
Hey,
that mean we
thanks.
tried to pick up the spill, but we couldn't?
I think we were going to investigate it, and then we just decided to go do something else. I don't remember actually trying to pick it up. He makes you your welcome gesture and goes back to contemplating the sea view. So, what are you doing in Atlantis? Doing a show tonight, he says, up on the city walls. This is only partly a lie. You know that his main business in town is some sort of computer science contract, and that it's largely cover that his band is playing at the Serial Comma Day festivities. Next Army stands up and mutters something. I have a little trouble with his Scottish accent. We don't get a lot of that around here for obvious reasons, but you interpret it as him saying he'd better go pay up. He heads to the interior of the cafe. Look at the spill. It looks like a quantity of red wine just waiting to stain some vulnerable bit of clothing. Not the kind of thing we can just pick up and carry away. Remove S from spill. We reset the device to S. There's a mad scientist cackle, and the spill turns into a pill. It is small, round, and blue. There's no brand or generic markings to indicate what it might do. Okay, so we have some red wine in a pill form.
Can we go inside the cafe?
Enter cafe. The place is entirely closed now. We can go north to the fish market and east to Deep Street from here. We can't see Next Army anymore either. The tables. The wobbly, tipsy kind of table that jog at the touch and spill your coffee everywhere. Fuck's sake. In this day and age. Umbrellas. Oh, umbrellas. Umbrellas. Carry advertisements for brands of liqueur and beer. Okay. Next Army is a strange name.
If you Next Army NGO, you got examine in the middle of that.
Yeah. It's an anagram, certainly, of examine
Yeah.
something. I can't work out what NGO. No. But I guess we get some red wine out of it. The other place is just south of Palm Square, the Babel Cafe. Oh. I don't think we've had this before. So we're outside Alex's apartment. It says, something makes you think of your crew's attitude to Atlantis law.
We need to remember.
You, Brock, and Slango were sitting around the built-in table aboard Slango's yacht using Brock's laptop to plan upcoming jobs. We've got time before Cairo, Brock said. What do you think of this one? Slango grimaced. Pays chicken shit, and what a job. Getting a name like Next Army past Atlantean border control. So some guy can do a concert tour. Come on. Where does that go on our resume? Right after brought down international conspiracy by Sibilant Solutions. It's hiring a neuro-oncologist to treat your pet gerbil. We've got ourselves credentials, Brock remarked. We're not exactly the most solid, upstanding, ordinary named guys. Because in our line of work, it's useful not to be. Plus, I would do a job for myself that I wouldn't do for anyone else, obviously. This is a job for a virtuoso, Brock said. Pure challenge, no obvious social engineering solution. Not to mention, if it turns out we can't deliver, what's this guy going to do about it? He's a musician. Slango didn't look impressed. It's breaking Atlantean law, Brock added temptingly, and there's no law that needs breaking more than Atlantean law, you and Slango chorused with him. Point taken, said Slango. Okay, we plant evidence that Next Army is a traditional ethnic Basque name. You know, he was born in Glasgow. Then we're back in the present.
How do you spell NGO?
ENGENO.
ENG just EO, I think. ENGEO. Do you have another N in there?
I wrote it down with an N, but I might be wrong.
Thing is, like, how would you manipulate Next Army to make something? Like, it'd be useful to take a living thing and turn it into something you can carry around, right? Like, if you wanted to get someone out of a country, to turn them into an object and then restore them back to themselves. But that's not what Next Army is. Next Army is an anagram of examine, unless we're missing something. I don't know.
What's to the south of us?
Yes, let's go south into the Babel Cafe.
We also don't know what the law was. To me, that implies that you're not allowed on the island if you've got a weird name.
Yeah, that's right.
And
Oh, might it be the thing about the restricted last names?
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, so presumably they're restricted for some reason. Like, you can't make something out of them that would be illegal, or that people can't turn people into stuff. I don't know, like rosehip. I don't know. There's something around being, being safe so people can't just turn you into stuff.
Yeah, I mean, his full name is an anagram of examine gone.
There's an extra E though, isn't there?
No, because you need the E to make examine.
No, you're right.
Wasn't there an E in next Army?
Only one though, and you need
Only one.
to
You need two to
examine.
make examine.
Examine and gone.
I don't know, but in a game where whenever we look at something, we actually hit X to examine it.
Sure.
Just
okay. Yeah. All right. We'll think about that. Babel Cafe. Through many changes of management, this institution has fed the denizens of the university and ignored their semi-sedition. A clerk in a white apron stands behind the long glass case. In the long glass case are a pocket bread, a wrap, and a honey pastry triangle. The tables are square wooden things painted dark blue, not the vibrant blue of the bureau, but something closer to midnight. And the upper surfaces are decoupaged with antique travel postcards. A blue plaque is mounted on the wall. The clerk grins at us in a welcoming way.
We should buy some stuff.
Honey pastry triangle.
Should be able to do a lot with that.
so I've just done a Rosie and spotted. It's not even a double entendre, and just if we get the wrap and get rid of the R,
Yep. Examine plaque. On this site in 1969, the theoretical groundwork for Q insertion was laid by James Elias and Milford Higgett using 5 drinking straws and a bowl of oatmeal. The monocle pings happily. Can we buy the bread? I'll have the pocket bread, we say. The clerk sets the pocket bread out on the table. Enjoy. Suppose we should look at it. Aha! It's a round, flat bread suitable for eating with dips. There's a dismissive blat from the monocle, and transposed over the pocket bread is a faint greenish image of a pitter. So we can make a pit.
I seriously just had to look up WAP. Never heard of that.
WAP.
Yeah, never heard of that.
It's what mobile websites used to be a long time ago.
But if you could get the wrap and take the W off, that makes a noise. A wrap?
Yeah.
No.
I mean,
Okay, it is actually a wrap.
yeah. And we've actually shown that our jigsaw makes a noise. And didn't we need to make a noise so that we could then use the pass?
Yeah, that's one of our goals.
And then the triangle. Oh, look at this. Okay, despite the enforced linguistic transformation, it still looks delicious. Fine layers of crisp phyllo with nuts and honey between. This is looking at the triangle. There's a dismissive black from the monocle, and transposed over the honey pastry triangle is a faint greenish image of some baklava. I mean, we've got no chance of turning baklava into anything else. And the wrap.
Get it all anyway, if you can.
Yeah, and the wrap is wrapped around rice, chickpeas, and sauce. And it is a wrap. But yeah, we can maybe manipulate it. But yeah, by triangle. I'll have the honey pastry triangle, we say. Clark gets out a honey triangle and puts it on the table, then locks up the case again. You've just about cleared us out. Okay. We have a lot of stuff. Should we try manipulating something?
Remind me why we need to make a noise. Sorry.
Oh, it's so that if we try with the pass card or the key card, if we try and use it to go into that little lab where the extra special machines are for changing what we can manipulate, it says if we go in there, they will hear, like Brown will hear us. So we need to create a noise to mask the sound of us going in and doing stuff.
So if we can get away with going in there, there's loads of different ways we could can we then turn things into animals, or is that a different thing?
That's what I'm suspecting.
I still think clock is our rude thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. Maybe we have to do this first. Or maybe Mike's right. We already have the pass and we can just waltz into the office anyway. I mean, we could try it, obviously. There's also the customs house that we've never been to.
Well, look, we've got 5 minutes left.
My
vote is to make a noise and see if we can get into the room.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. Well, I think that appears to be it for there. Let's go to.
You can't take the plaque.
No, no. Fix in place. Go to basement. Yep. Okay. So, west from here. I defer to your judgment that we ought to provide some masking sound before proceeding. Okay. I've just turned the jigsaw on and I've said drop jigsaw. I'll just leave that in the carton, less likely to be disturbed there. We set the jigsaw in the carton where it ought to provide a helpful distraction for the time being. There's a continuous angry whine from the jigsaw.
Cool.
I'm going to save at this point.
Let's see if we can score even just 1 point this evening.
So my entire network has just shat itself. Oh, for F's sake, come on.
Are you saving to an external, like NAS or something?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's gone to sleep, I think. There we go. West. Rectification room. This is where equipment is brought for a tune-up or to have its legal limits reinstalled or on rare occasions removed. Access to these abilities is tightly controlled by the Bureau. The reclamation machine stands near the door, ready to improve forbidden objects for the use of registered departmental users. It's very ordinary looking, a simple machine with leads able to attach to various linguistic equipment and to read and rewrite the programming. Examine machine. You put a piece of linguistic equipment into the reclamation machine and the machine reprograms it. Attach the machine as a computer which manages its behaviour. Currently the machine is closed. I assume you use the computer to open it for service. The monocle pings happily. Okay. Maybe this is what we need the password for.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
The reclamation computer is currently switched off. The reclamation computer chimes cheerfully. A box on the screen invites us to type a password to proceed. The password flickers meaningfully, then stabilizes. Under the influence of the reclamation computer, the password has settled down and now reads 4TS. A good, proper password.
I was just going to say that. A nice,
Yeah.
strong password.
We carefully key in. The password field vanishes. At the top of the screen is the message, status, removing legal limits on animal creation.
Yay!
The following options are visible on the screen. Restore abstraction limits, remove abstraction limits, restore animal creation limits, remove animal creation limits. Quit. Okay. Put letter remover in machine. Oh, the opening is controlled by the computer portion of the machine. It can't just be forced open. Okay. So type 4 for remove animal creation limits.
Yeah, it might do it for us.
The reclamation machine slides open. The computer gives a warning noise that appears to mean, if you're really sure, okay. We drop the letter remover through the machine. There's a brief flash and hum from the machine, just as though it were making a photocopy. Then a recording of a woman's voice speaks loudly and cheerily, lifting legal limits now. A point that might draw undesired attention our way if it weren't masked by the noise outside. The letter remover comes out again looking exactly the same as when it went in, but it should now be able to make living creatures at need. The reclamation machine clanks shut. The security program comes up again on screen. Your score has gone up by 3 points and is now 60.
Woohoo!
Yay.
Amazing. Are we going to try the cock?
Yeah, a quick cock.
Always time. Always time.
Just a quickie.
If we struggle, we do have a small blue pill.
Brilliant.
What else is there in here? Nothing. Okay.
Pick the jigsaw up. Pick the jigsaw up.
Yeah, that's turned out to be useful. Now we can go and like convert the kudzu into kudus, which is what I wanted to do all along. But anyway, Southeast Language Studies Department. Remove.
Turn the jigsaw off.
Okay, I did just save it again, didn't I? remove L from clock. We reset the device to L with a distinct whiff of something objectionable. The clock turns into a cock. It stares back at us malevolently through one eye. There's a dismissive blat from the monocle, and transposed over the cock is a faint greenish image of a clock. The clock clucks.
Definitely save, because we're about to prove to a professor.
We might need to go and get someone to whack it with a homonym paddle. Okay. I mean, I don't like to say this, but show cock to Waterstone. Nope. Waterstone glares at the cock, then picks up a marker, writes on the piece of paper, "Please go away." Having held up this sign for a minute, he crumples it and goes back to work.
I think maybe you're right. We do need to homonym it.
Should we?
I mean, if you want to go and whack your cock with a paddle.
Give cock to bartender. I mean, this game is getting better, you've got to admit. Check this out, we say, holding out the cock for inspection. The cock is going to drive away other customers, said the bartender. The cock lets out a half crow. We draw the bartender's attention to the member. The bartender takes a look and smirks. "Honey, it would be too small to see," she says. "In fact, I'm not sure you're even supposed to have that." Oh, clucks. Screws. Give screws to bartender. "What do you make of this?" we ask, showing off the screws. "I don't think those would turn into anything," says the bartender. She taps them with a paddle to demonstrate. See no change. The cock lets out a half crow. So we can't get the bartender to turn our double entendres into anything. So I think that's it for today.
Damn.
What are our goals?
Here's what we need to do. Speak to Professor Waterstone and get his invitation to see the tea inserter, gain entrance to the bureau, and find Brock. Okay, so there's two things there, one of which is gain entrance to the bureau, which we have solved. Or we think we've solved, but we still need to get the invitation.
Cool. All right.
Cool.
All right. Thinking caps on, everybody, for next time. Thanks very much.
Okay.
Progress.
Next week.
Yeah. See you all.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.